let's go ahead and see if this is started up here. Scheduled. Hello, hello, hello. Alright. I just needed to double check if I can hear myself in the stream. Just want to make sure I sound pretty clear. Hi there, everybody. Welcome to a very special live stream. I know I was live streaming Need for Speed Heat a little bit ago. You know, Need for Speed Heat gets really boring, and I figured I would want to basically show you guys every Hot Wheels Acceleracers custom realm that I have created. So basically we're going to be going through and looking at them from a open or a flying perspective. Basically you guys are going to be able to see what the tracks look like from the perspective of, you know, flying around it. So I've raced so many times on all of these tracks with Peach, Grimtristic, Tom, Exotic, Skyfall, Poncho. The list goes on. Everybody, you know, Scion, D-Grub. You know, we've all raced on all these tracks, and I haven't made a video basically explaining the lore behind them or why I made these tracks, why they're named the way they are, and stuff like that. A lot of you guys probably could put two to two together on some of the explanations on why these tracks are the way they are, whatever, and the names and stuff. But we're gonna go ahead and start this off. I have, let's see here. I have, I think, 23 or 24 realms to show you guys today. So this is the first realm I'm going to be showing off. This is typically the very first realm we also race on in all of our live streams and videos. So this is the ballistic realm, and I know a lot of you are pretty smart and you're probably already figuring out why this is called the ballistic realm. Well, for those of you who know, Banji Castile from Hot Wheels World Race, his car was called Ballistic, and I was, when I was making this realm, I didn't know what to call it at first. I kind of just assembled it, and I was like, you know, what would be a cool name for a realm? And I ended up just sticking with the ballistic realm. It just kind of popped up in my head, and I'm like, you know, that actually sounds kind of cool. So this is the only track with the most detailed accelodrome. At least I tried to make the most detailed accelodrome. Maybe it's the second, I don't know. I consider this the only track with the best looking accelodrome. So we all start here. You can have up to 16 drivers because the transformed race mode only allows 16 drivers instead of 30. So hit the first checkpoint, the second, the third checkpoint is a sharp corner into the first boost pad section of the accelodrome track. So you go through the tubes, go around, and then you blast through the portal into the wheel power. And then of course I like to call back to the storm realm with tracks where you just pop up in the middle of falling through the sky, and that's what I decided to do with this one. So, you know, you're falling for quite some time. Some people will go really fast out of the portal, and they'll land pretty close to the bottom. Typically, I'll land about right up here with my Krieger. I'll get pretty close though. I've seen some people land about right here and usually use control and fall off the side. You definitely need to really focus on this part of the track because it becomes really small compared to the actual landing ramp. So, you know, you get back onto the track here and the whole race just takes off from there. You got a about a half hairpin, a sharp left. Uh, yeah, that's left. I'm tired this morning, so I'm like my directions are all weird. So yeah, you come in through this incline curve, come flying out, go through a straightaway, take another left turn. You go up a hill, and you gain a lot of speed, go down this hill. And this jump right here, you can actually jump over the checkpoint, which is actually kind of my fault there. I could have fixed that. But it doesn't happen all the time, but it can happen. It is possible. So you could jump over that, which is bad. And then, usually you land just barely missing this checkpoint. Land right here, boost up the boost pads, go up the really steep hill, get to the very, very top, and then you come around another left corner, go through a little straight, another left corner, and then you go up I like to call the half loop or the broken loop, which this is actually not even a loop at all. It's just like I don't really know how to call this. You basically just go up it, fly off. You're flying through the air. You get really, really high, and then you land right here, somewhere on this big green big green blob here, and you go down. Got a bit of a straightaway, a really cool hairpin, going straight, go down, make a right turn, the first right corner of the whole track, then another right corner, then you zigzag a little bit through these dog bowls, go through another straight, go down, go up again, then go down, then go up, then go down, then go up again, and then go down, and then one final left turn into the portal. Now, I did put some lore behind a lot of the tracks that I built, like the Acceleracers and what the actual skill of the track is and stuff like that. So, the description that I have for the Ballistic Realm, let me pull this up here, is... here we go, yes. Alright. Alright, where is it? Yeah, okay, the Ballistic Realm. The track is in a constant shifting rate, changing roads to extreme conditions to challenge any racers. The skill is to stay calm and focus on the track's pattern and find the safest and best route. The Acceleracharger gives you the ability to never lose stableness on the road surface. So any like jumps or anything, basically you kind of just stick to the road. Your car doesn't leave the track. You're just constantly gaining speed while your car is just smoothly going over all these hills and over all these crazy change in the track form. So typically in Grand Theft Auto physics, when you come off a jump like this and you land on a flat surface from a high drop, your car would spin out. But if you had the Acceleracharger, your car would perfectly land and you would lose no speed and you would just continue driving. So yeah guys, so we're gonna take one big last look at the Ballistic Realm. This is one of the only realms to have a huge drop from the sky. This was actually the first track that I built that had a huge drop from the sky for the realms that I have in this list. So yeah, it's pretty cool. You go all the way down to the ocean floor and then all the way back up into the sky, and you go through the portal and you get back into the Acceleracers. So yeah, it's pretty high up here. This is probably about I think the highest section of this track is probably where the portal is, or actually I could be wrong. It could be, I can't see with this panel. It might just be the tip of this piece right here. This might be the highest spot. All these blank walls, I just put these here so that way you can't see the rest of the track. Over time I started to realize that it took too much effort to do, so I kind of just stopped doing it. I did it for this track, of course. So yeah, there's planes up here. This is very high in the sky. So this is probably the highest part of the whole track right here. And as you can see, if you look down, that's pretty dizzying. You come up this whole thing going real fast, going straight up vertical and stuff, and It's pretty awesome. So yeah, that's the Ballistic Realm, and now we're gonna go check out another one. So let's get back to the creator screen. So the next realm we are going to be loading up is, you guys will be able to see a lot of my track names here. This is the Coast Realm. This is a very favorited realm by my friend Grimtristic. He has won a lot of times on this realm. It's definitely one of the most challenging courses I've built in terms of the terrain and the track are kind of meshing together. So this is, of course, the trigger that starts the game. So we're gonna zoom out. I almost hit that track there. So we don't have very detailed accelerdrome. This one is very small. This is a sports classic track. So all the vehicles everybody's driving are going to be sports classic. It's a very smooth course in terms of stunts, so there's not like any giant loop-de-loops or anything like that. The track is very, very flat. So you go through a very small accelerdrome here, blast through it, you pop out of the portal, and you start out on this really long straightaway at first. And it takes a little bit to kind of get your vision back after you come out of the portal. And your first obstacle is right here, this big mountain slide that has come onto the side of the track. I know it's the track going into the side of the mountain, but it's kind of cool to have an imagination to think that this is like a rock slide or something, or just the mountain is infused with the track or something. So you got some cool coast water splashes right here. You know, you're coming by. Now, when I made this realm, I did not have any intentions to make this like the Battle on the Coast, which is the very first race in Hot Wheels Acceleracers. This is not at all any inspiration from that. This track just shares a very similar name to that scene from the show. So a lot of people are like, "Oh, well, he named it after that." It's not named after that. This is just the name for it because this is near the coast, but it is not named after that event. So this isn't even supposed to be anything like it. So yeah, we got this mountain part right here, and you come out, you get in a little bit of a downhill straightaway, coming through a I don't know what to really call this. I guess a hairpin, but a straight is right after that corner, so it's not much of a hairpin. Come through a long straightaway, you come up this hill here, and everybody usually kind of slows down here. It's not too steep, but you still get enough speed to just kind of ride through this. You know, you get some nice views of the mountain right here. Come through this straightaway, and then we have this really, really dangerous hairpin here. We have trees, so you got to watch that inside corner, and then immediately afterwards, you got this really tight section here. Everybody can usually kind of mess up here and hit the side of the mountain or fall off. This is one of my favorite spots of the track. I always come through this real smooth. And then you got some trees on the outside. So if you could just line your car up with a perfect line, you can get through this corner pretty fast. So coming out of there, the track bends a little bit, and the track is actually crooked. So I need to make some adjustments. So these two pieces aren't connected because the track is actually flattening out back to a 90-degree perfect flat surface. So you come through here, come through this corner, and you go down this really smooth hill, gain a lot of speed, and then there's an immediate corner right here, but you have to slow down a little bit. You don't have to slow down a whole lot. Now the track is pretty low to the water, but there isn't any actual water hitting the surface of the track anywhere, so you won't have to worry about getting your car flooded or anything. This is just really low. So you have this really odd, sharp chicane right here. This usually throws everybody off. This track is also raining. It's not raining right now because this is in Creator, but it does rain during this track, so it does get really slippery. This section right here, usually out of this corner, some people fall off right here. Some people hit the walls in here. It gets real tight in this little spot. And then you come out of here, and then there's some guards on the wall so you don't fall off the track, but those can also be deadly if you get too close to them. You got some water splashes from the coast under these rocks hitting the rocks and stuff, so you got some cool effects. Coming through here, you got another straightaway, and then it comes into a zigzag. There's some rocks sticking out right here, so you got to watch out for those. You come through here, coming real fast. There's another spot with this cool dead tree. I thought this was a cool spot to add, so I stuck the track really close into the wall right there in the mountain. There's another section here. This is where it gets kind of tight. You don't want to go too far to the outside. You got some cool water effects splashing. So you come around this another hairpin here. Some more rocks to the side, some mountains. Come around here. And you come around this corner pretty fast after that straightaway. And then we have a very interesting corner. It's very hard to explain what kind of corner this is, but basically when you're coming through here, you want to get your perfect line, then you come out, and usually I'll jump right here and grab the checkpoint and just continue onward. So after this section, it's kind of a sharp corner. After this section, you go through here, and so you got some. I didn't even know notice there were stairs here, but yeah, you got some stuff here on the side. Got a cool little spot here. I wanted to go around the lighthouse. So you come around, then you go straight, make a right turn. A pretty long curvy straightaway for a while, so you get a lot of speed coming through this section. You got some dirt right there, a piece of the island. Coming through here, this spot was really nice, so I made the track come through this area. So you gotta watch out for this. This can catch you off guard. You also got this piece of cliff right here. So coming in a lot faster. You got this corner that can be missed if you don't pay attention. You can fly off this whole section because there is a long straightaway and then a corner. It is a long winding corner, so it's not too hard to miss, but it is possible. You got this big rock right here, nice section to get around it. Come over here, got some more rocks on the side. Now this is another really tight spot. This is probably the tightest area of the track that can mess everybody up. So I haven't seen a whole lot of pileups, but this section is definitely the most dangerous. So you come around there, and you come through. You got a straightaway, and then we start to actually gain gain some altitude. So we got a incline hairpin, and we go up even higher, and then we got a hill that descends. We get some speed, go up a little hill, get some more speed. And then we start getting into the weird decorations that I started placing everywhere. There's no real explanation to all of this. I just kind of put these here just to look cool, because making this whole track section without these just looked kind of bland. So I just decided to keep those there, and put them there and stuff. So come down here, we got a jump. So you catch some air, you land on here. The track is skinny, so it can throw some people off, and you can actually fall off this section of the track here. You come speeding down this straightaway, then you got a nice curved corner here, and this is the final straightaway of the whole track. So you're going, and then you drop a track, getting a little bit closer to the water, and you have a bit of an incline, and then you hit the portal. And what's pretty interesting is oh, I didn't even know I can go underwater. That's actually kind of scary. Yeah, so every time you win the race, the camera actually goes underwater, and you can actually look up and see the portal. Now, looking down here, you can see the big structure things that I kind of just stuck in here. It looks kind of scary underwater, honestly. I have a bit of a phobia of looking at giant things underwater. I don't know why. It kind of creeps me out. And it is an actual phobia. I just don't know what it is. It was like underwater aquaphobics or something. But yeah, I don't know. That's kind of creepy. But yeah. So we're gonna get a big zoom out here of the whole course, starting from the end portal. Now you can actually see the end portal from the very beginning of the course. Right after this section down the hill, if you look over from over here. So you come around over here, and yeah, you can see the end of the track, which is pretty cool. So we're gonna get a huge zoom out here. So we have. This is actually a really long course. I wanted to try to make it even longer, but I ran out of track pieces after doing a bunch of decorations, and I didn't really know what else to do. So the track shape is actually very unique and very complex. Um, so the whole section of this island, kind of just outside of the side of the coast is where it gets its name, of course, and then you just got this whole huge area, and you got this whole bundle up right here. It looks really cool, just seeing the shape of the track from the sky. So we're just gonna go back over it this way. So this is the final section, and then we'll go backwards. So whole final section, come around, go back over through this, go around this whole section here. Yeah, it's I don't know, I think it looks really cool, especially this section looks kind of strange. But yeah, guys, that's basically the Coast Realm. And yeah, so this track is massive. You can see the whole string that the checkpoints create. From really farther up, you can actually make out what the whole track looks like from the checkpoints perspective. So yeah, that's the Coast Realm, guys. Let's go ahead and take a look at another track. Actually, I was gonna give you the lore here. So the Coast Realm, a constantly raining realm while hovering a few feet above the ocean surface near rocky cliffs. The skill is to master driving on wet roads and driving in extreme blinding rain. The Acceleracharger ability is that the user is not affected by water or wet roads of any kind. So it is pretty similar to the Water Realm Acceleracharger, I guess. I think it just gives you the ability to not hydroplane. It's kind of hard to come up with Acceleracharger ideas, so just bear with me on that. So we're gonna go ahead and, of course, leave. Now I don't have lore for every track that I've made. It's only for the first like 15 or so. So if I don't have like a Acceleracharger or something else for that, just bear with me on that. So next one here is gonna be okay, I guess we could just go in order here. It doesn't really matter. I wrote down an order of how things were gonna go on my phone, but I guess everything's in order here on this. So some of these realms are pretty they're not extremely unique. Some of them are pretty simple. This is the Dream realm, which isn't one of my most extreme or complex realms. It's kind of simple. I kind of threw it together with a few other tracks that I just wanted to make for fun. So I started running out of ideas for names of tracks. So a lot of track names that I've come up with were kind of just based off of music I like, or just names that I kind of could come up with at the top of my head. So there is no special Accelerome for this. It's literally just a red square. This is a 30 player track, so you can have 30 drivers. So you come through. I really didn't make an Accelerome for this, honestly. We could just assume that this whole system with the red tube is the Accelerome. The whole track is red, pretty much. So anyway, you go through this whole tube section. It spirals. You get a lot of speed going through that whole thing, and then you come shooting out of here into the first straightaway. Come through a very sharp left corner. You got these walls to help you out, and then you come onto this weird grid, and then this you have to drive up the side while still going straight. And then this whole section of this track right here, I actually gained inspiration from racing on a couple of other tracks that I had downloaded on the Rockstar social club. So this is a new technique I kind of learned. It does work. It doesn't always work for all cars. You just really have to plan out how steep these corners are going to be and how, you know, steep the track is, so that way you don't actually mess up and make it impossible for people to race on it. This section does get a little difficult. I usually come around this corner too fast and hit this outside wall, but I never fly off the track, so um, I don't know. It's all just very. You just have to very use a lot of skill to get through this whole section. It's a little challenging, but you know, I like to add elements that make it very unique. So there's a little bit of the track clipping through this building, so you can hit it if you get too close. You come through here, put a band-aid right there so it's smoother. You come up this section, and you come up this pretty fast, but there's a slowdown here. So you do end up slowing down. Land on this big red square. You come through here, and this is a unique tube design I did, where the tubes descend slowly. And coming through this whole section, you just drop a little bit, and it's kind of like like a staircase. So I call it the staircase technique. This is another staircase technique. Now this can actually mess you up if you're not going fast enough. So if you drop, you're good here. You're good here. This way you get a little bit of air. If you're going too fast, you could actually jump over, or if you're going really fast, you can jump over one of these. If you're not going fast enough, you jump over this and then clip the back of this one, and you can crash. So it can get pretty dangerous in this section. And then, you know, you land here on this another red square. You come through a tight corner. You got a tree sitting there on the outside, and then another tree here. And this checkpoint is purposely here so you don't hit the tree. So you come around here, go through this section, a straightaway, then you go up a hill over the mountain. I was gonna make this a jump, but it didn't turn out very good, so I decided to just make this kind of a crazy bridge that just goes all throughout the course and goes up and down. You got some trees sticking out here. You can actually hit this and physically hit it, so it can be dangerous. So just a lot of weird hills here that just go up and down. This whole section of the track is pretty much a big straightaway. This part you have some mountain coming through and some trees. And you go up this another one. You go down. You can fall off these pretty easily if you're not paying attention to your line. So if you're going too fast and you hit the top of the hill and you start catching air, you can fall off the track if you're not in the right spot. So this lasts for a while, and then you finally get to the final section. So you come down here real fast, you gain a lot of speed, and I'm a big fan of long straightaways to the finish. So this whole section is just one giant straightaway, and you get to the portal. This isn't a very long track in the sense of like time. It's actually pretty fast, especially since the track is pretty bland. There's not a whole lot of stuff that goes on, so we're gonna get a massive zoom out. So look at that straightaway. That's huge. It goes by fast though when you're drafting everybody and going really fast. This whole section goes by pretty quick. So the length is pretty long. This whole section just looks like a big. I like to think it looks like a big dragon flying through the sky. So yeah, you got that whole area there, and then you come back over here, back to the beginning, more technical aspects of the course, and yeah, so that's basically it. The most technical area, of course, is this weird design I did with these track pieces. This is definitely the most unique part of the track and most challenging. But yeah, that's the Dream Realm. I don't have any lore for this. I did name this after the first word of a band name called Dream Theater. It's one of my favorite bands. So yeah, this is the Dream Realm. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and look at another one. I know the description wasn't very great for this one, but you know. Alright, so Next one, let's see here. Load creation, publish. Okay, the Endurance Realm. This is another very simple realm, very simplistic, nothing extreme, nothing technical. The only thing about this course that makes it difficult is racing with the other drivers. This whole section, or this whole track, is supposed to be really, really long. So, I don't even remember if I actually made a Accelerodrome. Oh, I did. Wow, there's actually an Accelerodrome here. So yeah, this is a 16 race. So go through the portal, blast out, and you're just on this big, big road for very, very long time. We're not going to spend too much time here. There's not a whole lot to look at. A lot of this is just a very long straightaway. I can't remember how long it takes to complete this realm, but it it is called the Endurance Realm because you are spending a lot of time here. It is so simple. The only objective is to not get tired and to get out of the realm as fast as possible because you only have an hour to stay in the realm. Now, of course, in terms of GTA logic, there is no timer to the realm unless, you want to count DNFs as, people that get lost in the realm, which is what usually we do here on PeachTube and my channel. When we live stream, we're like, oh no, they DNF'd. They got lost in the realm. So that whole first section goes over the entire map of GTA 5. It comes around here, and then we go through the portal right over Mount Chiliad. Now, we're going to actually look at the map here. And you could see how many pieces I had placed just to get this from one point to the other. And this is the longest section of the map in terms of how far I could actually go. I wish I could go a lot farther out, but I can't place some stuff outside of a certain radius. So yeah, goes across all of this. I was thinking about making it just go straight across, but because of Mount Chiliad being right here, it just seems too short. So being able to go to out here, I was able to make it a lot longer. But yeah, I've actually made a track like this that was similar, that started, just way high in the sky, and the tracks were these pieces, and it is actually called the Big One, and it is the very first largest track I've ever made, and it's actually one of the longest courses ever made. But that's for another time. It's not a realm, so we're not going to talk about the Big One too much. But yeah, so this is the Endurance Realm. Not much to it. You basically just need to get out of the realm as fast as possible without messing up. That's just basically the lore behind this. There's no Acceleracharger. I really didn't come up for an Acceleracharger for this. There's no real lore. You just got to get out as fast as possible. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and just leave this one and check out the next realm. Sorry if you can hear my rocking chair. Okay, so, whoops, I didn't mean to show off some of those there. That's not it, no. Okay, the Fire Realm. This is probably one of the most detailed tracks I've ever built in terms of decorations, in terms of following the theme. This is also another favorite by Grimturistic. He also has a pretty good win streak on this course. So it starts out over here. The trigger is placed by the little pier amusement park place. So this thing is massive in terms of how crazy it looks. So another 16 race with a natural portal. So you come through here. We actually have a real Accelerodrome alarm here. It won't go off because I have to test it. So go through here. It's a pretty unique Accelerate, at least to me, I like this whole section where you come up, kind of get a lot of speed going through the uphill parts and come through and then blast to the portal. Now, I put a wall here so you don't go backwards, because, I don't know, I kind of just put one there, I don't know why. So yeah, you blast through, go through fire, and come around, and there's just fire everywhere. This whole track is on fire. Yeah, come around this corner, we got these weird hairpins here. Come through this section, and then there's a really sharp corner right here. There's arrows. So you come through here, there's a lot more fire, and you jump through more, or you jump through hoops of fire. So you got one, and you got two hoops, and you got three hoops. Now, I should have put a wall. This whole section, you can actually cheat this whole loop if you drive off of this backwards and grab that checkpoint right underneath this last one, which is 26. But, so yeah, this is one of the first loop-de-loops I made that's actually a different shape. Typically, I make pill-shaped loop-de-loops or perfectly round ones. This loop-de-loop is kind of oddly shaped. You actually, if you guys remember one of the coolest moments in Hot Wheels World Race, when Vert Wheeler was going up the big loop-de-loop, he used his turbo boosters to jump off one side of the loop-de-loop and land on the other side. That actually ends up happening if your car's not fast enough. So around this part, you can come unstuck from the track, fly through the air for a little bit, and then grab back onto the track, which is actually really cool. So you go through that loop, you go down, and you're under here, and then you go up, and you got this hairpin here. It's a pretty steep hill, so it could catch you off guard, and you can't fly off of this pretty easily. And then you come up this section. Some people fall off this corner. You come around here, drop down. There's this fire spot here, so you know how to dodge it. The fire doesn't affect the cars in this game. This is just decoration. But in the lore of this track, the fire would affect you. So you want to stay away from the fire. Excuse me. So you have to jump over this giant ring, land. Some people have trouble hitting that jump, but most of the time people make it. If you collide in midair with another car, it could be dangerous. Now, probably one of the first times we raced on this track, JJ was in the lead, and he actually fell off of this corner, I believe, and that messed up his whole race. He was doing so good. He was actually probably gonna win, and he fell off the corner, and he sadly didn't win this race. So, pretty interesting. That's something I remember from one of the first times racing on this track. Sorry, JJ. I just wanted to mention that. I don't know. I just thought it would be funny. But yeah, you go through another jump here, go through the ring of fire, and then you have this really cool split. So you can go through, you know, the left or the right, go through here, and then you come back through, grab this one, go through a crap load of rings of fire, and then go into this cool tube, which I call the heart. It looks like a heart. Kind of looks like a heart. I don't know. But yeah, go through this whole section. So it actually, the first section you go uphill, and then the last little spiral you go down. Then you come out of this tube really fast. So you come through here, come out, hit a hairpin, and then come over here, hit another jump through another ring of fire, go through a straightaway, and then you start going down really fast. You start getting a lot of speed, and then you're like, oh man, where's the portal? And it's like right there, and the portal's actually on fire too. So you jump through the portal and you win, of course, if you're in the lead. So it's hard to tell when you're racing because you have to get really close, but there are parts of this track that you can't see that are actually on fire, and that's actually why we're going to be looking at this. So the mountain down here is actually on fire. I just did this for comedic effect, and also the fact that, like, it's just supposed to fit with the theme. So sadly you can't actually see the fire going through the portal unless you somehow catch a glimpse. It's really hard to see. But yeah, that's the fire realm. We're gonna get a big zoom out here. So it's a pretty bunched up track. I actually drew this on a piece of paper, and this became one of the most unique tracks I have ever made for some of the realms here. This one has probably some of the most gap jumps where you jump through hoops and stuff. Um, this whole heart thing I drew as well. Everything for this track I literally just drew on a piece of paper one day. So all the gaps, the whole section for the loop, I just kind of set up. I was like, alright, I'm gonna actually make a loop-de-loop at this part. I didn't draw a loop-de-loop, but I just wrote, okay, there's gonna be a loop here on the piece of paper I have. This was a 90-degree corner on the piece of paper, so pretty cool. All this, was drawn on a piece of paper, so it's pretty awesome. I think when I was drawing it, I drew it from this perspective, so if I was looking straight down at a piece of paper and looking up, which I can't go very high to get the whole track in view. But yeah, so yeah, that's a fire roam, guys. I do have an Acceleracharger for this one, so we're gonna go ahead and I think I remember what it was, but I'm gonna go ahead and just read it off, just to be more specific. So here we go. Okay, the fire realm. A track that is completely covered in flames. Racers must avoid the fire at all costs. Touching fire causes extreme damage to their vehicle, to the driver's vehicles. The Acceleracharger ability extinguishes fire from the user's car or track and protects their car from fire. So if somebody's about to drive into fire or something with the Acceleracharger activated, your car will not be affected by the fire at all. The fire will kind of just get extinguished. Now, this can help in some ways in terms of if there's another driver close enough to you, I guess the fire can be put out just in time around you to where you can get past. But the track is really hot and, on fire, so the whole thing can't really be extinguished. The fire just keeps lighting up. So the whole track is red and orange to fit with the theme. I think this is definitely one of my favorite tracks that I've ever made. In terms of just building tracks in general, this is definitely one that I'm really probably the most proud of. I put a lot of time and effort into this one, and it just kind of holds a special place in my favorite tracks that I've made. So we're gonna go ahead and leave, of course, and check out some of the other ones we have here. So I think we're only maybe 4, 5, 6 realms in. I lost count, but on to the next one. Alright. Nope. No. Okay, the Galactic Realm. This is a I had a lot of trouble building this track. It was very difficult. Some sections of the track aren't very great, and I had a hard time trying to actually edit the track pieces to make them feel a lot better than what they actually do. But I did the best I could, and I ended up making making the Galactic Realm. So yeah, this is the Galactic Realm. I'm gonna just zoom out a little bit here. Here we go. So this is a 16 race because it is a transformed race. So there is an Accelerodrome. Go through. We're not going to spend a whole lot of time on this track because this one's not super interesting. So yeah, you kind of blast through this tube section here. You come out. Everybody usually spins out on this. I tried to make this a smooth landing, but it doesn't really work that well. If you're going slow, you might land pretty good. I'm a little congested right now, so sorry if my noise is annoying you. So you come up this spot, jump. Sometimes you can land on this pretty smoothly, sometimes you can't. Then you come through this corner here, go down this hill, and then I made a really strange looking hairpin. This thing kind of goes up for a little bit, and you come around a long corner. Uh, and you come over here, hit a big jump, land on this. And you got a tube section. You gain a lot of speed coming through here. It gets really technical and tight, so come around there, go this way. And then you got a long bank. And then we have a weird tube section where it launches you out. So you go vertical for a little bit, gain a bunch of speed, fly out, and then you land on this big square. Typically, you'll land right here in this spot. That's usually where I land. Then you come up to this section right here in the slowdowns. You go down this really fast. And to anybody that's like not really paying attention to stuff, this catches everybody off guard. This whole section is just really dizzying with these grids everywhere, and it looks really cool. This is supposed to be like a temple or something. I don't know. I just kind of threw it together. I thought it would be cool to fit with like the weird outer space theme, and then you just jump through the portal, and yeah. This track isn't very large. It's kind of small. There's a lot of details to the track though. So if we zoom out, you can see the whole box section, which was very difficult to make, by the way. I know it looks really crappy, but it looks cooler on the inside than it does the outside. And you have this whole outside area. I don't really like this track that much. I don't know why. I think it's just because I worked my ass off trying to get this first section right here to work, and it never really works that well. Everybody usually spins out or something bad happens, so I feel pretty bad. I wanted to keep the section there because it looks cool, and I want to have that, you know, stunt effect that I haven't ever used before, and it just didn't turn out that good. But maybe through the next few months or so, I'll retry making something like this and have it to where it works. GTA's physics are just kind of weird, so it doesn't. This kind of stuff doesn't always work all the time. So you know, this is the Galactic Realm. So it is an outer space track. Of course, since this is Grand Theft Auto, I can't make the track in space, so just bear with me on those themes and blah blah blah. So here we have the description of the Galactic Realm. So, extremely low gravity, much like the Cosmic Realm, but the track twists and turns around an Acceleron space temple. The Acceleracharger ability gives the user's vehicle the ability to drive and even fly through outer space. So, if you were in the Cosmic Realm after you got the Acceleracharger for this track, you could fly. Like, your car can literally just drive on nothing through outer space. I don't know, I just thought it was kind of cool to have that as an idea. But, I don't know, the Acceleracharger ability and the lore for this track isn't 100% that creative, in my opinion. I think it's just kind of bland, but I didn't really know what to do with this one, so yeah, that's the Galactic Realm. Alright, this realm is a joke. These are... I have like 2 of these. This is one of them. This is the gourmet realm. It's literally not even supposed to be anything realistic in terms of an actual realm in Acceleracers. It is detailed, of course. The name of it is just a joke. I couldn't think of anything creative, so I just stuck with the gourmet realm. This doesn't have an Acceladrome, so you just start out like a normal course. You go up this really weird made track thing I did, and you go up that, catch some air, drive down this. I tried to make it to where you have a better landing, which you can land on these ends of these, but it's not smooth, so it's kind of crappy. But it's only there if you mess up. But if you stay straight, you should be fine. So you come through this section, come down, go down here. This is a pretty steep drop. You actually catch a little bit of air on this. And then you come through, and then you have a loop-de-loop, which is pretty kind of normal shaped, I guess. It's, I don't know, it's a pretty smooth loop. But this is the first technique I've ever used for a loop-de-loop like this. But when you're coming down this at full speed, you see the track, and you're like, oh no, I'm about to hit the wall. And then you smack into a sub-portal, and you connect back to the track, and you go through this area. This track isn't extremely detailed or extreme. In some sense, it's just pretty simple. So you got a couple of hills and hairpins. You got to jump right here. You can actually pull off a stunt here if you're going fast enough and get enough air. Come around here, go up this section, and then you can jump through this tube. And then when you're inside of this giant tube, it leads to a smaller tube. Go through this tube section, gain a lot of speed coming through here. I don't think I placed any traps in this first part. Yeah, no, there's no traps. But once you come down this area, hit the speed boost, you come through here, there's some walls that are missing. And then you have the traps, which are these spinning things. And you come around this corner real fast, and oh, it's a spiral, an inclined one. Come out of here, go through this section really fast. Come through, and then go around, and then you jump through the portal. I do actually, from what I could take away from this track, I do really like the portal, because when you come out of the tube, you're like, oh, the portal's right there, you know, like, oh, that's cool. So, you know, you come through, and you're like, oh man, I'm gonna get to the portal first, you know, or, you know, it could be a real intense head-to-head battle right here, and then you just go, pew, and jump through the portal, you know. So yeah, this is the Gourmet Realm. Don't take the name of this realm seriously. It's just a joke. I couldn't think of anything cool for this realm. I might change it if anybody wants to give me an idea. There's no official Acceleracharger or lore behind this track. I kind of just threw this together one day because I wanted to race on something new and I wanted to build something. So yeah, it's a very blue-colored track. Blue is its primary color, so I don't know if like that can be used as some sort of thing, or there could be something here that can give this sort of a unique name other than the Gourmet Realm. But there is a lot of diversity with this track. You have an incline jump, you have a lot of hairpins and downhills, you have a loop-de-loop section, you have a lot more hills in this whole spot and hairpins, you have a few jumps, you have a massive tube section with a thick tube or a big tube, and then it goes to a small one. You have some traps inside the tubes as well, a cool little spiral, and you know, this last section is a raised track. So yeah, there's a lot of diversity in this course, all kind of bunched together. So I just kind of thought of the Gourmet Realm because while I was building this, I don't know why I was thinking of Red Robin, and Red Robin's whole slogan is like, you know, a real gourmet burger, or you know, something like that. So I don't know, I think I was just hungry one day and making this, and I was like, you know, gourmet, that's a pretty interesting word, and I just named this track, you know, that. But yeah, that's the Gourmet Realm. It's not really supposed to be taken all that serious. So we're gonna go back into this here. Alright, the Hairpin Realm. This is actually another one of my personal favorite tracks. It's simple, yet extremely crazy looking. If this wants to load, this is a very, very big track. In terms of length, I really don't know if it's big because of that, but looking at this track from a perspective of sky view, this track is absolutely insane. So this is a very just crazy looking course. I guess you could say this is the cliffside realm, but on massive steroids. So you come around this first section. There is no portal or Acceladrum. It is a portal or transformed race, so only 16 drivers. You got a mountain clipping through the track. You come around here, go through more mountain clips, and then you go through this section, go over a hill, you go down, gain a lot of speed, and then the hairpins again, or the hairpins start. Actually, let me see if there's. Okay, the first hairpin is basically this one. So there's one hairpin. Oh, that scared the fuck out of me. Two hairpins, three hairpins, 4, 5, 6. Oh gosh, this gets confusing. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, then a loop, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay, so there's 18 hairpins on this track total. This track is probably one of my favorites. Like, I had a fun time building this one. I just kind of spaced out and just mindlessly kind of built this thing, but the most complex part of this track is probably right here, this whole section. It just entwines with each other and just looks crazy. So, I did feature this in one of my other videos a few months, maybe like 2 or about a month ago. Actually got a lot of likes on that video. That track, or the Gourmet Realm, was also featured in that video as well. But yeah, so yeah, this whole thing you can kind of just get a big glimpse of. This is the second track to use a portal loop. I guess that's what I'm going to call them. So it starts out with like a normal loop and then kind of gets a bit of a pill shape here, but at the last section with a vertical. And you zap through the portal, go through this section. Got some hairpins here. Got some more hairpins. And you get through the portal. Not a whole lot to look at this track. I kind of, just threw this together. But from down here, I think at maybe this section. No. Okay, I'm not going to be able to get the camera in this is very awkward, so I won't be able to get like a good shot of what I was trying to show you guys. But from a certain angle, you can see this track from below, and when you look up, it just looks intense. This stupid camera moves too slow in this. So yeah, from up here, get another nice big shot of this. So yeah, it's pretty awesome. This is the hairpin realm. I don't have any lore behind it. It's just very similar to the cliffside realm, which is very popular for some reason. I don't know. I feel like the cliffside realm is. It's in Hot Wheels Acceleracers. Hairpin. Alright, the Industrial Realm. This is another track I thoroughly enjoyed building. I had a lot of fun building this one because I wanted to, like, the theme that I incorporated into this track, it fits so perfectly and so well, and I just really like this track a lot. Also, I like that this track you sit under the Wheel of Power, so you get to see it. So you jump through there's actually an Acceladrum on this one. You jump through the Acceladrum, you blast through the portal. Now, this whole section gets confusing because you go through multiple portals, and you finally get to this part of the track here. This is the actual start of the track. This whole section always confuses everybody. They're like, why are we going through multiple, portals? This is weird. It's just because I was trying to get it lower to the ground, so that's why that's there. So, you come through this straightaway, and immediately you are hit with just gloomy looking buildings. You got a puzzle, or a section of the track here that you got to drive through, so you zigzag through here. I wish the camera could stop doing that. And then I kind of set up this cool thing to kind of give a dizzying view of like in the distance, like the tube. So you come around this first right corner, and another corner, a little bit, go through a black tube. There's some smoke from some GTA, you know, in-game decorations. This is not something I made, of course. You go through, come around this hairpin, and you got this drop section. Come around here, make a left, and this track hovers so closely over these buildings, and a lot of times you really can't see them, but this whole area just fits so perfectly for this track and the name of it. So you come through here. This section is really tight. Sometimes you can hit this if you're not paying attention. So you come through this spot, come around this corner, and you jump through this weird trap right here. Go through this section, make a left corner, go straight, make another left corner, come through here, drop down. You got a palm tree sticking out, so you gotta be careful of that. There's also this sign over here, which I completely forgot about that. I forgot that that's there. Come through here, some traps. Go through a corner. Got another trap. Got some cool decorative smokestacks right there. I just think that looks so cool. Come through here. And this is where the track gets really complicated with the corners. So you come around here. You can actually hit this if you're not careful. Zigzag around another. These corners get really tight, so you gotta really watch your speed through here. Got some really cool side decorations here. I like this whole section. I think it looks really cool. This crane, you can hit it if you're not careful. This trap is kind of annoying because there is a barrier, so if you're not fast enough, you can get completely stopped by it. Got these cool decorations coming through here. This kind of sticks out if you hit it for too much from the outside. Come through here, and this jump actually pissed me off one day because I actually landed on this and I was doing really good and I just spun out. Which really sucked. So you come up this area, go through here, another trap, come around here. This you can hit. This you can really hit. This one's you gotta really watch out for. The electrical tower. And then this is probably my favorite part of the track right here. So you jump through, jump down, jump through, jump down. You go through here, and this whole section at nighttime looks cool. So, and this whole track is very foggy. So you come through here hauling ass, and you know you can't see very well. So you gotta dodge all these concrete structures. This section can throw you off because it gets a little tight. Now this loop-de-loop is actually really dangerous. It's one of the most unique loop-de-loops I made as well. So you come through here, go up the loop-de-loop. You're going really, really fast, right? And this loop-de-loop is a perfect, almost a perfect circle. And we got a little bit of a band-aid here, so you have a smoother transition between the course. And you get really close to the freeway. I actually had to delete this this light here because if you hit that, it would suck. And then this section right here is what catches everybody off guard. If you're going way too fast, which happens all the time, you could just hit this wall or fall off one of these corners. Because when you're coming through here really fast, you got to make an immediate left or right corner, go through this split, and then comes back through the middle. And then this whole section here at the end was actually shorter, but I actually made it longer for effect. And yeah, you jump off this going real fast, and then you hit the portal at the last second, right when you think you're gonna hit the ground, and you win the race. So yeah, this is the Industrial Realm. I'm really proud of this track. This is another one of my tracks that I hold really close, dearly. This whole bottom section before the loop was very difficult to actually construct, and I worked really hard on it. I wanted to make the loop-de-loop different, and I wanted to kind of change out the layout, but you know, because of the loop-de-loop being there, I really couldn't do a whole lot. I could have easily probably come back and fixed this, but I think the way this loop-de-loop is set up kind of sits as the most difficult part of the track and kind of a landmark that kind of just reminds every driver that's raced on this ROM, like, oh man, you know, I got to remember to watch out for that part. So I like to, you know, have some parts of the track to be like, oh, we got to be careful there, you know. So I don't think I'll ever change it. But yeah, the track is very, very crazy looking from a sky point of view. It's hard to kind of pinpoint a lot of the track section um, in a simple kind of way. So this whole thing is just very windy. There's a lot of drops. There's a lot of obstacles all over the place. There's not a section of this track that doesn't have an intense obstacle or a drop or something. There's times where you have to dodge just something that's always in the middle of the road, or an obstacle or a trap that I added. So you know, this track is very intense. It's a pretty fast track too. Once you get out of the drops here and you get into this final section with all these concrete bridges and everything, it gets really fast. And then when you get to the loop, it gets even faster. So yeah, pretty awesome track. Very proud of it. I do have a description for this one. This is one of the first tracks I did build at the time when I was leaving descriptions for them. So let's see. Okay, here we go. So, filled with the industrial realm, filled with black smoke and polluted air, loud factories working infinitely in a timeless manner. The skill is to master how air pollution affects your vehicle's performance. The Acceleracharger ability gives the user to be not obstructed by any. Basically, your car has like a really strong effect to not get affected by the air pollution. So like you have normal vehicle performance driving through this realm with the Acceleracharger, if you use the Acceleracharger in this realm. So yeah, your car doesn't get affected by air pollution if you use the Acceleracharger. But yeah, this is the industrial realm. We're gonna get a nice final look at this, and yeah. So going on to the next one, we still have a lot more realms to show you guys. I made so many. Coming through here. Now this is all in ABC order, of course. So, oh shoot. Okay, next page. All right, the Lost Realm. This one I just threw this together. I didn't have any major ideas what I wanted to do. I did actually draw this on paper now that I remember. I need to take a drink of water. Yeah, so this track it's it's really just, it's simple, but yeah, it's not all that complex. I don't really know how to explain this one that well. I did draw this on a piece of paper. So we actually have a Acceladrome. You come out, you got some hairpins, you got to jump. You come through here, you got a tube section, go up this hill, bit of a up and down. Now the portal is actually right here. If this was an actual Acceleracers track in the show, you could probably jump through the portal if you wanted to, but of course with GTA's logic you can't. So you go up and down, go through this whole section here. This is actually a muscle car track only. So, or you can only drive muscle cars on this track. So this actually proves to be pretty difficult in this section for some muscle cars, because muscle cars have slippery traction. So this is supposed to be a maze or something where you kind of just aren't supposed to know where to go. And once you come out, you'll notice that there's 3 tubes. Each of these tubes lead to different areas, and all 3 of them have their own loop-de-loop. The fastest tube is probably this one, which would be the farthest one to the left. It's always the left section. If I ever make a track that has like a split, the left section of the track is always faster for some reason. I really don't know why. It's weird. I think the middle might be the slowest because that one you go really below and then you jump out and you get a lot of air. The right tube, yeah, the far right corner. I never actually go in the far right one. I usually always go through the middle or the left. Actually, hold on. I'm trying to. Usually when I drive through this, I jump here, jump down, go this way. Yeah, I usually go through the left of the middle. I rarely go through the right tube. The right tube's actually the second fastest. But yeah. So you come out, whichever tube you chose comes to, of course, the same final section of the track. The reason this is called the Lost Realm is because the whole section with these like pillars, you're supposed to get lost in these. But of course, with Rockstar logic, I can't really simulate that. And I actually did use a lot of pieces to create this. I mean, this whole tube section is very complex, and it looks absolutely insane from a distance. So you know, you go through here, go through the portal, and that's basically it. It's simple. It's not very complex for a track. But I haven't really heard a whole lot of opinions on this course. But it's definitely one that kind of sits on the outside. It's not one that's very remembered that much. So yeah. I don't think I made an Acceleracharger or description, so we're not going to really worry about that. Ugh, oh boy. Uh-oh, come on. I don't think it's ever taken this long to load up published tracks. I hope I clicked on the wrong, or the right thing. I really hope I didn't click on the wrong thing. Come on, there we go. Okay. Good. Alright, so now we have the Lucid Realm. I drew this track on a piece of paper. It's actually one of the first tracks that scared the crap out of everybody when I first made this, because the very first section, after you jump out of the portal, you start falling from the sky, but you don't see the track, and it scared everybody. Everybody was like, "Oh my God, we're just falling. What is this?" So we start up here in the Acceleracers. If I can get up here faster, jeez. So yeah, 16 race portals, of course. So you go through, come out of this whole section. You don't even see the course. You just appear out of nowhere, and you stop in midair, and you fall. And yeah, you could see this big thing right here, this checkpoint. You could see that. So you're like, oh no, am I gonna miss that? And of course, you could see a bit of the section of the track. So you blast out of here. Everybody falls off this corner because it's raining in this track. This is a lot like the Storm Realm. I hate to admit it, but this track does feel a lot like the Storm Realm because you're falling from the sky. It's raining. There's thunder. It's hard to see. The track is yellow instead of red, though. So, you know, I don't want anybody to think that my tracks are similar to the ones from the show. I try to make stuff that's very unique and original. This whole section, like everything of this track, I drew on a piece of paper. So a lot of these weird corners, I just took a pen and just made weird zigzags and shapes. So you come through here, you know, go up this whole incline, get really high in the air, come around here. This section was kind of hard to make in the game, because this is supposed to be a 9-degree corner. So you come through here, you go this way, and then, you know, you go this way. But because of it here, you could of course hit this pretty smooth. So you would come around, kind of sweep around here, come here, and just go back through this way. So it's not as sharp as it was on a piece of paper. Come through here, hit the boost, hit the jump, land on this section, go through a small tube area. I actually opened this up so that way if you go too fast you can land inside the tube safely. Come out, go down a hill, go through these big giant tubes, which I just set these here for decoration. It's cool coming through some of these too. Just it looks cool. I don't know, just I think it looks cool. Come through this area. This whole section was supposed to be a big loop-de-loop. And I ended up not making it because I decided to make a very cool part of the track here. This part gets a little confusing because I put split checkpoints, and for some reason the checkpoints look awkward, so whichever one you take, you're not going the wrong way. So you come through here, and then this whole section mirrors each other. So this is another split. It's a weird shape, and it's the entire thing's a split up until this point. So when you're coming out of this straightaway at top speed and you have to hit this whole section really slow, it definitely changes. You know, like, whoa, this whole thing was going real fast, and now you got to go real slow. It just comes off kind of weird. So this whole section of the track can really mess you up if you're in the lead and you get somebody to catch up to you because you have to go really slow. And once you get back through, you get through this long straightaway, and you go inside of this big tube here, get real close to the edge. And this portal actually also threw everybody off and scared the crap out of everyone. So you come up here, you hit a speed stop, and then you fall, and you splash down into the water at the last second before you actually splash down into the water. Of course, you go through the portal, which I tried to get to go flat. It didn't look that well flat, but I did the best I could. And yeah, this is the Lucid Realm. I don't remember if I actually made a description for this or not. This track is just supposed to be wild. There's no real other explanation. It's just crazy. The shape is very unique, very different from a lot of other stuff I've created. I've never created a track with this kind of shape before. So, you know, this whole section where you have to, you know, split and slow down, and then this whole section that's a straightaway, that's also split, has sections where the track is sideways a little bit, and you know, it just looks really cool. So yeah, this is the Lucid Realm. No Acceleracharger, don't really have much lore. You know, go ahead and call this the Storm Realm 2.0 if you want, but personally I think this track is just a perfect standalone course. The whole thing, you know, I drew on a piece of paper one day, and it came out to be this. Of course, I don't have the loop-de-loop like I drew on the piece of paper, but that's okay. Changes happen sometimes. Alright, so go back to load creations. Cool, we don't have to hit that loading screen. Alright, the Metropolis Realm. Now, I wanted to make my own version of the Metro Realm, but I wanted to make it to where it actually is functioning and it actually works really well. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead, of course, and check it out once this loads. I hate how this takes forever. Come on now. I didn't even know I could move the camera. That's weird. Okay. Alright. So yeah, this is the Metropolis Realm. Like I said, it's my own version of the Metro Realm. I wanted to make a Metro Realm. The track color is kind of like McDonald's, or at least ketchup and mustard. So there is no Acceleracers. You just start the race. go through here, go through this section, go through a incline hairpin, come down here. This is probably one of the best examples of the staircase track thing that I do. It's pretty smooth. You can't really mess up. I get really close that I can to the ground without touching any like obstacles, so there's no palm trees in the way or anything. You got this whatchamacallit thing here, this obstacle with a little wall. This is the only part of the track that I really know of that kind of got in the way. It's not too bad, it's easy to dodge. Come up here. Actually, I forgot about this piece right here. I didn't even notice that when I placed that here, but come up here. Got a hairpin. You go down. Got a little bit of that there. Clipping through. And then you got this cool jump section, which you can catch a lot of air, and you can actually land on top of the stadium, so you have to be careful. But yeah, you know, Maze Bank Arena, come over here, going real fast, go around this right corner, go up here. We got another hairpin section, and you come up, get a lot of speed, and then you come down, and then you slow down, and then you land on the freeway, the surface of the actual game, the game world, you know, GTA 5's map. So you got this sign here to tell you where to go. You come up here, you got another sign, so you gotta watch, you know, watch the arrows that tell you where to go. Coming around here, got another area with these walls. You gotta slow down just in case you hit it so you don't fly out. I found out actually hitting these walls stops your car completely. Like, you don't want to hit those. It completely stops you for some reason. I don't know why. Coming through here, you got these walls to stop the road from, you know, going backwards. This wall helps you out. You got this area. Got this cool spot right here. I put a lot of just signs everywhere to direct you where to go. This whole section's got to slow down in case you hit it. And then this area, this is where it gets kind of crazy. So if you're going way too fast, you can actually hit this sign if you're hauling ass. It's rare though, but it is probably possible. So you come down through here. This whole section is really fast. You have to be careful coming up here. You have to watch your speed. This gets really tight. A lot of walls here. And you come around this tight corner, this hairpin. There are slowdowns if you hit this back wall. And then you go back onto the actual track. Go back through the sky, get some air, then you go down this hill, gain some speed, and you go up the loop-de-loop here, and then it doesn't even complete itself. It just kind of you know, just go through another loop portal, blast through this part of the course, make a couple corners. Go through another hairpin, go down, hit this jump, and then this section you can land in or not. And you land on this part of the track, which I don't know why I changed the color, but I ended up doing it. I didn't know what else to do, so I just made this a long straightaway. I did want to kind of give a nod to the actual Metro Realm from Acceleracers, where there was a bit of a straightaway before the end, to the, you know, the portal. So yeah, this is the Metropolis realm. Really enjoyed making this track. I'm very proud of it because it's one of the few tracks that I actually have made where you actually go onto the real surface of the Grand Theft Auto 5 map and race on it. I've seen a lot of people try to do this, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. You just got to be really careful with how you kind of make the sections and everything. So, you know, as soon as you get off this section of the track, this whole area up until right here on this first yellow piece is actual map. So it's not a whole lot, but it's a decent amount to kind of give you the Metropolis kind of feel from Hot Wheels Acceleracers. A lot of the actual Metro realms that I've seen people make will be like some track pieces in the air, and then you fall off the track, and there's like roads leading everywhere all throughout the city, and it works sometimes, sometimes it doesn't. But this one I really worked really hard on, and I wanted to make something really smooth and have like a really nice experience for everybody to race on. So yeah guys, this is the Metropolis from. Okay. So, go back. Published. Alright. The Peak Realm. This is a another favorite realm by my friends. My friends really like this one a lot. This is one of the first extremely detailed realms I ever made. There's a lot of decorations. I just dropped the cap to my water bottle and I'm trying to find it. Okay, I'm back. And the thing decided to finally load. Good thing my controller's charged here, and no one is watching. I wish somebody was watching my stream. It really bums me out. I was streaming Need for Speed earlier, and I had a couple of views, but no one wants to see this. So hopefully, you guys do watch this later on. I know it's Monday, but whatever. Alright, so this is the Peak Realm. This is another track that I made that starts on Mount Chiliad. There is an Acceleracers. Does have a portal, so 16 racers. So yeah, come through this whole section, come out of here. This whole track is just covered in these weird pillars. So it's I don't know, it's very, very unique, I'd say, just artistic wise. I don't know, I just like the way this one looks. I did do a lot of editing, and this track actually had an update to it. I was gonna make the track end at a certain section, and they came back and actually changed it. Now this is the only track that actually features actual rocks on the road, from, you know, rocks that were on the side of the mountain that had fallen off the mountain and landed on the track like a rock slide. So I got a rock there, rock here, rock here, rock here, rock here, rock here, and a rock here, and a rock here, and a rock here. This rock right here in particular is the one that everybody hits. This one is pretty much easy to dodge. You can hit this one a lot sometimes, but this one I know for a fact that everybody hits. I will be coming out of this corner right here, and I will see somebody hit this rock or this one and then just go woo flying off. You know, it's funny. So yeah, after the crazy rock area, you come around this corner, and then this is where the track gets pretty intense. You start gaining a lot of speed going down this hill, and then this whole section right here is downhill, so you gotta zigzag your way through. This spot I tend to lose control and slide or drift around because it's going downhill, and it's a tight corner. This spot you come through still going downhill, get back to a surfaced track here, come around this area, and then a lot of corners. Portal's right there. You can actually jump through it if there was no wall, and if this was Acceleracers, you could actually easily win the realm. If you had turbo boosters, you could actually fly over the wall and just fly into the portal, which would be actually kind of cool. So, go through here, jump over this part of the mountain. I really liked this section a lot. This is probably my favorite part of the track, because when you're going, you just go, and you jump, you're flying through the air, you land, and then you come around this corner, and you come up this hairpin here, which is pretty high up here. This has thrown people off a couple times. There's a portal or a checkpoint up here that kind of sits high, and you can actually miss it if you don't get too close to it. But it's also because Rockstar's checkpoint system is stupid. So typically you want to hit the middle section. You don't want to get too low. This one you can mess up on too if you don't get too close to it. So this section right here, when you come down here and you come and you hit this jump, the portal was originally sitting right underneath this yellow bar sticking out of the mountain. And that was the original end of the course. And I actually had come back and did some editing and continued the track. And as you could see earlier, the final finish line end portal is over there. So you jump through that section, you land on the track, come through this corner, dodge this pole. Ironically, these pillars right here were sticking out of the mountain in the original version of the course. And when I had come back through and made the final version of the track, which is what you guys are seeing, I made these hairpins come through and get really close to the pipes. Like if your car was really tall, you could probably smack into those. So it hairpins a couple times, comes in between the pipes, not even touching them, like barely touching, or like, you know, barely not touching, I mean. So it gets real close. Looks really cool. Come through this last hairpin, and you come down, and it's hard to see the portal, but it's after this tube. So you come down here like, oh, cool, the portal's right there, and you go through the portal. So yeah, this is a peak realm. We're gonna get a cool zoom out of this track. It is crazy with the amount of tubes that I placed everywhere. I just put them there. I think it looks cool. It's just decoration. It's not really supposed to be anything. They're not trees. They're not like stone. They're just things. They're just there to look cool. The whole mountain is covered in them. So yeah, they're all over the place. It kind of looks like a birthday cake sometimes. At least to me, I think it looks kind of like a birthday cake. So, funny thing, when you come out of the portal, you have a few seconds to react to this first corner. So a lot of people usually fly off this first corner of the track, which is kind of my fault, but at the same time, when I tested it, I didn't have too much trouble. So if anybody has quick reaction skills, you'll be able to dodge that corner pretty easily. But yes, it can catch you off guard, so you do have to be careful. But that's the point of these realms. You gotta know how to get through them the fastest and the safest, and you know, to win the race. So yeah, track is a very unique design. From a massive zoom out, or from looking from the track from inside the game lobby, the course looks like a dinosaur holding a hook. I can't exactly simulate that here, but if we were in a GTA lobby with this track booted up, you would be able to see that the track is shaped like a dinosaur holding a hook. I don't know. It's just what it looks like to me and some of my friends. So yeah, this is the Peak Realm. It is a fan favorite, or at least my friends like this one. I really like this one. This was one of my favorite tracks to build. This was featured in the Hot Wheels Acceleracers mini movie that is on Peach's channel. So if you want to check it out, you can go check out the Hot Wheels Acceleracers mini movie on PeachTube. Yeah. Not all of my tracks are featured. I think it was just this one, and I don't know if there's going to be any more of my tracks featured in later movies. But yeah, this is the Peak Realm. Description for this one. Let me go ahead and actually pull it up real quick. Why is it already 12:30? My goodness. I don't want it to be 12:30 already. It was just 12, like, not that long ago. But, yeah, now it's like 12:30. This is stupid. Alright. Let's see here. Okay. So, the Peak Realm. A giant mountainous realm where the course is close to rock slides and rock falls. Very similar to the cliffside realm, except there aren't continuous hairpin turns. The skill is to master downhill speed and dodging falling rocks and other obstacles. The Acceleracharger ability gives the user the shield gives the user a shield at any time something comes close to falling on their car. So yeah, that is the description for the Peak Realm. This is the Plummet Realm. I forgot what realm we were on for a second. So yeah, this one I actually I actually completely forgot about this track. It's not one that we race on that much, but it is one that I did make, and I really, really like um, the uh, the plummet track that Rockstar created for GTA 5 Online Stunt Racing. So yeah, there is no Acceleracers, there is no portals, so you can have up to 30 racers on this track. So you go through this whole section kind of like the actual plummet track from Rockstar. Go down this whole thing really fast. Um, it's a long plummet. It's not very intense like the actual plummet track. It's kind of just eh. But yeah, you come through here, go up this area. I can't believe I completely forgot about this one. This one's not that exciting. So yeah, this whole tube area. Guess you go through, go up, a couple boosts, come out. You come through here. This is actually a cool trap I made. This is actually a glitch that you can actually occur or make. It's pretty simple. It's not too difficult, but it makes a really cool trap. So you just gotta be careful. Jump through there, come out here, do a hairpin, go up the hill, go down, do another hairpin. Gotta jump, pretty big gap. Land over here, go on some raised tracks, dog bowls, another jump, land on this bottom section. Couple corners, straightaways, go up here. There's a split, and then the road just gets really weird here. So there's jumps, bunch of drops, a bunch of really high jumps. Corner, another section, hairpin, another big hairpin. Come around here, go really, really fast over these crazy freaking mini bumps. These always throw everybody off. I love putting these on the tracks. I think it's fun to hit them, and it's kind of funny when everybody's like, "Oh God, I can't drive over these." And you go up this whole section here, come through, go through the hairpin, drop through a tube. I don't know if there's any traps. Nope, no traps. And you go through the portal. So yeah, the Plummet Realm, I guess you could say this is another joke realm. It's not really that interesting, I guess. It's kind of just something I threw together mindlessly. It's kind of gimmicky. It's not really... This realm, I guess you could say, is like a song you hear on the radio. It's not all that creative, not all that much effort put into it. It's just kind of there to get your attention. So, yeah, that's the Plummet Realm. Alright. Keep having to hate going down through the sewer. The Pressure Realm. This is the very, very, very first realm I ever created in terms of my own custom fan-made realms. I was really happy making this one. I really liked this one a lot. The description and ideas that I had for this track were, I thought, really creative. I forgot this whole section is covered up. So yeah, this is one of the first Acceleracers I ever built. This is probably the second most detailed one. This one, you start off with a short roster of cars, only 16. So you go through the Acceleracers, come out, go through the portal, drive up onto this track, and then you go up this really steep hill. It gets really high up in the air. And then you're up here for a little bit, and you're like, oh wow, this is up really high in the sky. And then I know this kind of looks like a really Down syndrome looking Metal Maniac symbol. The only reason this is there is because you need to slow down. If you don't, you will fly off of this section of the track and land right here and hit really hard and probably spin out. So a lot of my friends that race on this track don't care to slow down, even though they've been on this track multiple times. So they usually haul ass and land really pretty badly. Sometimes I do it, sometimes I slow down. Typically I slow down though. So come out of this section hauling ass. You hit this jump, land through this area, go through here, going really fast up the hill, come down, go through this part with these weird tunnels that I added. These are kind of a callback to decorations that I used, or decorative ideas that I used in Halo Reach. So you come through this whole area. These actually weren't here before. I actually came back and refixed this track and edited some new decorations. So you come through this section, you go up this tube here. If I can get up fucking higher in the sky, I hate how fucking long it takes. Come up through here. Come on, Jesus Christ. So you you shoot out from that bottom green one, and you just fly, and you barely touch this. Like, you barely, okay, you don't touch it, but you get really close to it, and it's like you're about to touch it. So you land on this white surface. You got these weird white rings everywhere, and the reason these are everywhere is supposed to be, like, I don't know. I think Halo, for some reason, has cool artwork and aesthetics, so it kind of reminds me of the Halo game series. But these are supposed to be a reference to the fourth wheel, or the fourth ring for the Wheel of Power, and that's why these are here. So this track is kind of like a symbolistic sort of thing that the Accelerons kind of made to pay tribute or make reference to the fourth wheel for the Ring of Power, or the fourth ring. So you come through this drop tube section, you fall down here for a while, and if you do a pork chop, you can grab the wall, spiral down, get enough speed through this section. It gets really close to the dirt. I made it to where it just barely has like pieces of grass sticking through here. So I'm really happy that I got that to fit perfectly. And this is the first realm that I created, and this turned out so well in my opinion. Do a little bit of a corkscrew spiral here, come shooting out. This section's cool. If you're really far in the lead and people are coming out of this spot, you could see them jump across here, and then you know, you come through this spot. You have these red pillars here, kind of making obstructions. I don't really put a whole lot of these on my track, so this track is actually pretty unique, and this is the only one that really has those. So this spot right here, you can hit this, jump over other cars crossing underneath you if they're slow, like if you have a really big lead. And I thought it just looks kind of cool having cars jump over. So you land, get to this final section, go down the hill, got these obstructions here. These will throw anybody off. If you're going head to head and you're going real fast to these side by side, you can mess somebody up by smacking them into one of those. And then you go through the portal, and yeah, that's the pressure realm. So I actually remember the Acceleracharger ability and the whole lore behind this track. So basically, the pressure realm has to do with the actual pressure of the water, or the ocean. Or okay, there's pressure way high in the sky, and then there's pressure plummeting from the sky. So you basically have to understand how less airflow in the air and airflow near the ocean water affects your car's performance. So that's basically it. The basic skill is to kind of, I don't know, understand how your car is affected by this track. Um, this is definitely, I say, if this wasn't a realm, this would be one of my favorite standalone tracks that's just kind of set up. There's so much nice decorations. I feel like this could be a track that Rockstar could use, or could have made, just because there's a lot of diversity. You got a nice section with a big drop and a hill, hairpins, cool decorations, a cool tube launch that fires you into the sky. You know, you come close to hitting this white thing, you land on it. Got these cool decorations, and you drop through a tube, which is the complete opposite of what this tube did. So this tube launched you into the sky, and this one you fall through the tube from the sky, you know. So it's really cool. But yeah, I really like this realm a lot. This is the very first one I did make, and it's probably one of the best ones that I did ever actually put a lot of time into. So that's the pressure realm, guys. Oh boy. Let's see here. Alright. God damn it. Sorry, I'm trying to do something on my phone. Okay. I think we might be halfway through this whole thing. I don't really know. But, alright. So, this is the seaside realm. This one is really simple. I wanted to recreate the coast realm, but in a different light or different kind of vision. So there are similarities to the coast realm, but this one is also still a very standalone course. So there is no portal. You can have up to 30 drivers. There's no Acceleracers, sorry, not portal. Still portal too, but you know, no Acceleracers. You can have up to 30 drivers, and you can have muscle and sports cars, and I think sports classic and supers on this. It's a lot of diversity for this course. So this track is long. We're gonna look at this on the map here. This map basically goes around almost the entire left section of the GTA 5 map. So yeah, it's long. I wanted to make it longer, but I ran out of pieces. So I'm not gonna spend too much time here. We're just gonna go through this real quick. So the whole track, of course, goes along the outside of the map. There's some spots where you go through sand, and you know there's parts of sand along everything, and there's a couple off-roady type sections. This track is horrible for muscle cars because there's a lot of winding turns. So I think a supercar or sports car would fit this course perfectly. I wish we can race the F1 cars on custom tracks, because a track like this I think would be a lot of fun for the Formula 1 cars, because they just have such awesome handling. You know, going through this whole section and everything through this whole track, it's just, everything is just so complex. There's so much corners, there's some decent straightaways, but this whole thing is something that you really need to focus on to get really far ahead and win the race. I wouldn't really know what to do with this track in terms of like an Acceleracharger or lore. It's kind of like an endurance realm, but with a lot more complexity to it instead of it just being a straight line. But there's no portal because I ran out of pieces, and yeah, this is the seaside realm, guys. Okay, the sewer realm. This is probably the third or fourth realm that I did make of the big list of realms that I have. This one definitely is kind of gimmicky, but it still has a unique theme to it. You can actually race off-road vehicles on this track. I think that's the only vehicle you can use. But I wanted to make an off-road realm, and of course I didn't really know how to do that in the sense of, you know, making just a dirt road and shit that you would drive on. So you go through the portal, you come out. You want to be careful here, because if you're way too far to the left, you can actually hit this Lando Corp crane, and you come through this section. This part throws everybody off. There's a lot of debris, bridge stuff everywhere. I hate it when the camera gets stuck. Sorry about that. Come through here, another bridge. This is I think the second time I used a realm that came through this section, the industrial realm being the first, Come through here, dodge these. It can take you left or right through this part of the bridge. Come through some under bridges parts. Got this section. Now this part, you have to drive off the track. The track is broken. So this is where the essence of the sewer and off-road elements come in. So you know, you drive off, you drive through this water, you come up out of the water, drive up on here, and then the track begins again, and you jump back onto the track. Come through here, whole section, all through the dam, the water reservoir. Come up through here. This part gets really tight, so you have to be careful. And then this part is, it was kind of a struggle for everybody to do, and I do admit this part of the track is kind of crappy. But you jump up through this whole weird hill climb. And then I did delete these lights because these were sticking through the course, so they're not there. So you come up here. If you have a very slow vehicle, you can't actually make this jump. There's a lot of really slow off-road vehicles. So hit this jump, come up to this section. If this stupid camera could go any faster. Come around there, come down here, go really fast over this huge reservoir. This jump's kind of cool. It always catches everybody off guard because you're just like, woo, and you land, drop a couple stairs, come over here. There's this big lightning or electrical thing in here, so you have to dodge it. Jump over this section, jump over the gap that was this hill climb area. Come back up here through the sky again. There's nothing really up there, it's just a corner. You come back down through here. Come over through this way. Go down, drop some stairs. Go straight across, and then hit the final portal, the finish line. So, yeah, this track, I don't really like this one that much. I do know that this one's probably not one of my most popular ones. This one I didn't really have a whole lot of fun making. It was just kind of like, I need to make a track that's for off-road vehicles or something to where I can use off-road vehicles and kind of have a decent theme. There is an Acceleracharger and there is lore behind the track, so let me go ahead and pull that up. I hate my phone right now. It's being stupid. Okay. The Sewer Realm. A shadow, murky realm that is a hybrid of the cavern and swamp realm. It's dark, the roads are slippery, and there is green sludge everywhere. The skill is to not drown your car in the sludge pits. The Acceleracharger gives the vehicle to, basically, you're able to shoot oil slick out of your cars. Basically to attack other vehicles. So it's kind of like a weapon Acceleracharger. Yeah, so that's the Sewer Realm. Okay, the Speed Realm. This is the fastest realm I've ever made. It's not one that we race on that much, but it is very much liked by my friends. I did draw this on a piece of paper. It's just really crazy looking, but I think there is actually a portal. Or sorry, an Accelerome. Oh yeah, there is. It's very simplistic though. So yeah, this Accelerace or this Accelerome portal is actually kind of dumb because you go through it and then you drive through the portals on the actual part where you started on the track originally, and then you get to this section. I wish you can change the distance. I hate how you have to be so close to the start and end portals. I think it's dumb. I think the checkpoint systems are really stupid. So yeah, this whole thing is this giant tube track. I did draw this on a piece of paper. This whole thing is intense. Looking at it from the distance, it just looks absolutely insane. I'm actually going to drive on this track just to show you guys how crazy this thing looks. It's just the whole thing is just crazy, so we're just gonna drive on it. Alright, yeah, so that was Speed Realm. It's pretty long. The whole thing is downhill, so you're freaking flying through this whole thing. It definitely doesn't look that big from this point of view. It definitely looks kind of small, but when you're racing on it, this is a very, very long track. Especially when you're on this track with a bunch of other drivers, it just gets so congested in the corners, and the entire thing is just one huge noodle. So you're constantly close to crashing into each other. I think JJ really likes this track. I think this is one of his favorite ones. But yeah, that's the Speed Realm. Okay, so this next one is the Thought Realm. It's literally a meme. This is the second track that's a joke in terms of the title. I didn't know what to call this, honestly. Uh, you know, I have no idea. But yes, this is the Thought Realm. It has a pretty unique track shape. The track starts in front of a convenience store, at least the trigger. So we're gonna zoom out. This track does not have a Acceleracers, but you can have up to 30 people. So this track ends up splitting into two at the very first part of it. Um, the left section of the track is actually, I think, shorter than the right section. I'm not really sure. I don't know the fastest route. But yeah, either way, you both split. You come through here, jump through this giant tube, and then you come through this very, very, very unique section here that I actually created. So you come through, drop down these tubes, then you drop through these tubes, and then whichever tube you tape will launch you out into this massive one. Go through this whole section, this massive tube, and then you have this area, and there are five. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, there are 5 loop-de-loops. So you got the first loop-de-loop, the second loop-de-loop, third loop-de-loop, fourth and fifth, and then you spiral through these. This one's kind of a weird shape. It's kind of like the heart one from the Fire Realm, but a little bit different. It's not shaped like a heart though. But come through that, jump out the tube, land here, and then you kind of hit some dirt, and then you jump through the portal, which is sticking in the side of a mountain. So yeah, this track on a full zoom out looks really cool. I was really happy that I was able to try to make a new shape of a track. This is probably the first track I ever created with the most amount of loop-de-loops that I could make in a single section. With I was gonna make more, but I think I ran out of speed tubes to use, so that's why I couldn't actually make any more. But yeah, this thing is it's a really short track, but it's definitely got some interesting stuff to throw in there that you could feel like you're in the lead, but you might be in last place with how many splits there are. And if you can't get through the certain sections of the track fast enough, you might be going a lot slower than somebody else and stuff like that. So yeah, it's a very interesting track. The title itself, I really don't know if I'm going to change it or not. I just thought of the Thought Realm because I thought that would be funny. So yeah, the realm name doesn't mean anything. It's literally just this realm, and yeah, so that's the Thought Realm. No lore for it, no Excel charger. It's just something I threw together. Um, I know not all my tracks are that detailed of oh, they all have to have lore and blah blah blah, but I can't really think that much. This is the Torment Realm. This track was originally created to basically test everybody's skills, and yeah, it's really not that difficult. It just has traps everywhere, and sections of the track are just very challenging, so I wanted to make it feel tormentful. This one actually has an Acceleracers. So you come out of the portal, and this whole section is just traps. Come out of here, go down. Another section of traps are around here somewhere. Oh, they're in there. Yeah, you can see these ones. These aren't spinning things, though. They're just solid objects. This one, the floor bottoms out on the left. Got some more traps. Come around this corner. Go around through here. Don't think there's any more traps there. Go through here. Go even faster. Go through here. Go even faster. Going fast. Going so fast. Coming around these corners. Go through these tubes. And go through this section. kind of bit of a hill. Come around. This track I wish I could set fast lap times on. I actually was sitting and just talking with my friends and racing on this track over and over and over and over and over again. But Rockstar took away the world record times for lap times, so I can't set lap times anymore. So all throughout this section, you come through here, hit this jump. It's the first jump of the whole track. Land in here. Come through here. Zigzag around. I actually, Peach was gonna win this realm, but I snuck up behind him in the last section of the track and actually took his victory. More traps, downhill section, more speed, straight lines. This whole section right here, there's you have to wall ride because the track has a missing piece. Come through here. More hairpins. This section of the track right here, this final section is really fast. So come through the hairpins, hit the boosts, and Peach and I had caught up to him. We were wall riding right here, and I had passed him right at the last second, and I got through the portal first, and I won. So yeah, this is the Torment Realm. Kind of a, I'd say a generic one. I did try to put some effort into this and making it difficult. I mean, there are traps all over this course, so it can be pretty challenging for those of you who don't, you know, or for anybody that doesn't pay attention to racing on this track. So yeah, it's pretty cool. That's a Torment Realm. No oh wait, hold on. There's no lore. I just threw it together. No Acceleracers. Okay, this is the Twisted Realm. This is the first noodle track I made. It's a lot like the Speed Realm, except it's not as intense when it comes to the downhill section. At least like with the Speed Realm, the whole track is downhill, so you're going really fast. This track isn't really all that much downhill. There's a lot of uphill sections. Can I just zoom out, please? So yeah, there's an Acceleracers. You go through here, go through this section, comes around, got some black tubes with decoration, got this cool little corkscrew section here. A lot of this stuff you can't even see when you're driving in these because you can't tell where you're going. It gets so dizzy. You have a double loop section. The muscle cars can actually go through that, surprisingly. And then you go through this big tube, and the last section of the track is blue and black. And inside of this whole thing, I think, is the warped. Yeah, it's warped. So all through here, it's just blue and black, and you can't really tell where you're going. You're just kind of driving through darkness. And you come around this really, really, really big bend at high speed, and you reach the portal at the very end. Eric Skyfall has a lot of wins on this realm. I feel like he's won the most on this track. At least that's what I remember. Yeah, that's a Twisted Realm. It's a very dedicated track. The muscle cars. Oops, why am I saving this? Okay, I didn't even change anything, so it's no big deal. Okay, so we're getting pretty close to the bottom of this list. So we have the Wasteland Realm. I like this track a lot. It's challenging. It's actually a motorcycle track, so everybody drives motorcycles. A lot of this track throws everybody off. There's different parts that everybody tends to mess up on. I'll go through and talk about this different stuff. So yes, there is lore and there is an Accelerator for this. There's also an Acceleracers. So you go through the Acceleracers, come out of here, hit a big jump, land on an actual surface of GTA 5's map. Go through here, come around, hit a big jump, land, hit another big jump, land, go over these bumps, come around this section. This spot right here is one of my favorite corners. You actually can jump over this gap. It's hard to do, but it's possible. This part you go really fast to the straightaway. You can actually land on top of this bridge or jump over it. I've landed on it once. It's not good to land on top of it though. But yeah, you can come close to hitting that. Come through here, go through these dog bowls, come around here. This is where the track gets really intense. So this corner, come around here, come over here. This is the spot everybody messes up on for some reason. So when you come around this corner, you're kind of coming really tight and you don't want to hit that wall. But you tend to come off the jump going this way, or not exactly straight. So I don't know why, but I'm always able to line myself up pretty well to where I don't fall off this part of the track. But yeah, everybody seems to have a hard time driving off of this section of the track where they do fall off. And then you jump this section, land here, go around this way, dog bowls. This section, some people mess up on. They'll jump over, they'll be going too fast. Partially my fault. I think the speed boost there can be a little bit too much. But I don't know. I don't always like immediately land on the outside of this jump. I usually land perfectly fine. So you come around this, and you go around this section. I like the spot. You can actually jump over the other motorcycles. Come around here, go up this spot, go really fast around this whole straight section. Come around this corner. And then this area is cool. You come down this, and then I actually edited the track right here, so it's a smooth incline all the way to the final portal. So yeah, this is the Wasteland Realm. It's actually one of my favorite tracks. It's one of the only tracks that we race motorcycles on. But it's really fun. I really like it. It's pretty challenging, especially in that section right there next to the portal. Everybody usually messes up on that part, which I'm sorry if you mess up on it. You just gotta get good. I'm just kidding. But yeah, that's the Wasteland Realm. Alright, this is the Water Realm. It's not custom in the fact of, you know, my own fan fiction, fan-made thing. This is a legit realm from Hot Wheels Acceleracers, and this is my own version of the Water Realm. It's pretty simple. I did take some elements from the show, so, yeah, let's take a look at it. So, it starts off really high in the sky. So yeah, there's an Accelerome, pretty awesome. Added some details so you don't smack into the Accelerome wheel of power. So you go through there, blast out, hit the section of the tube where they fall down, but you fall for a pretty long time, I'm not gonna lie. This is a sports classic track, I think. I don't know if you only drive sports classics, but let me check that actually. Okay, no, you can actually drive super sports classics, and muscle. So yeah, you come out of the tube hauling ass, come around this corner, come around this hairpin. There's a loop-de-loop here. It's a really nice loop-de-loop. It is a P loop-de-loop. So this section splits off into two different tracks, just like the show. So you can take the left or the right fork. Either way, there's no hyperpods, so sorry about that. So yeah, this is the right section. Go through, get to the ocean surface faster, and then the left section is this one kind of takes like a longer route. This one is supposed to be the one that Vert takes, like, because I know Vert goes to the right, but this is supposed to be like the track that Vert takes with the tubes and the, you know, hyperpod. But yeah, no, the left section, it's backwards. I messed up. I had to re-edit this track because I had some problems. But you know, the right section, you go through, reach the surface, and then you jump out, and then this tube right here drops you lower to the surface of the water, and the track barely hovers. You do actually hit some water. Depending on the weather, the waves will be bigger. But yeah, this whole section gets really squiggly. Like, really, really squiggly. And then, you get to the final portal. I couldn't add any giant rocks. I wish I could, just like the movies, but I couldn't. But yeah, this is my water realm, guys. Hope you guys like this one. Okay, I think we're finally nearing the end of the realms that I've created. This has been a very long video. But we're going to be looking at the final realm to show you guys. This is probably one of the most unique realms I've ever created, and one of the most unique racetracks in GTA that I've ever created. This is the Zuma realm. It has its own Acceladrome, it has its own Acceleracharger, and it has lore. So we're gonna take a look at this track. This is probably the coolest track to see from a sky perspective, because everyone's like, this is weird. So this is the Zuma realm. It is a inspiration of the Ruins realm, but on a take of the actual art style of Aztec and Mayan style art or culture, I guess. I don't really know what to say. So yeah, so this whole section at the very beginning is a bunch of like weird square hairpins, and the whole track the whole trek is flat. You're constantly turning. Um, so this starts off from the very far outside and just slowly just goes into this dizzying circle, and it eventually gets to the very middle where the portal sits. Now, if this wasn't GTA and this was Acceleracers, the drivers could easily just fly over these somehow, like with the Swamp Acceleracharger, and they could easily get to the portal. I could have put walls up, but I thought it would be interesting to see the other drivers on the other parts of the track. And this track, if you're fast and you know how to take the corners, you can definitely outrun anybody. This is probably the most challenging course I've ever built. I struggle on this track too, because the turns just get smaller and smaller, and you keep getting faster and faster, and you know, your car tends to lose a lot of traction through a lot of the corners at high speed. But I always ask everybody why the track is called the Zuma Realm, to see if they can try to figure it out. But I will finally reveal why this track is called the Zuma Realm. So, I believe he's Mayan or Aztec, but Montezuma, or Montezuma, whatever. There's a roller coaster in Knott's Berry Farm, California, called Montezuma's Revenge. It was one of my favorite rides at the park. It's green, it looks cool. There's like a crazy loop-de-loop, and it's a really weird track, but I don't know. Montezuma kind of popped up in my head. I'm like, you know what? Zuma sounds like a cool idea for a realm, and when I was thinking of, you know, the Ruins realm, this kind of came to mind, and everything just fit really perfectly. The other thing that I love about this is the fact that you can see everything in one nice zoom out here. The blue checkpoint lines look absolutely nuts. The checkpoints laid out everywhere just looks crazy. They're not in a specific pattern at all. They're all kind of just all over the place. I tried to place them in a certain position to where it would be easier to grab them coming out of the corners. But yeah, I don't know. It's just wild. It's crazy, and I had a fun time making this track. So we're gonna go ahead and take a look at the lore behind this course. I need to bring up my phone. It's already 1:15 in the afternoon. My goodness, it was 12:30 like 5 minutes ago, I swear. Alright. Oh, wait, hold on. Did I actually not have the Zuma realm written down? Oh, I guess I don't. Okay, I'm very sorry. I thought I had, That's weird. I thought I actually had lore for this track. That's a bummer. Well, I don't really have lore for this one, so, yeah, I guess you could just say that this is an inspiration from the Ruins realm and I guess the Temple realm, if that was a realm in the show. I don't remember. There was the card game realms that had some realms that were kind of cool, and I don't know. I just wanted to make this feel like a maze, but also just a complex, like the portal's there, and it's just like, oh, I can't get to it because the track is so weird. So yeah, um, I hope you guys like this one. I just got a comment here on the L video. Hold on a second. Oh, thank you, Jero Corley. Did you just start watching the stream? Because this is actually the last realm I have here on the list. I've gone through for like the last several. Oh, geez, I don't even know how long it's been. It's probably been like an hour and a half, maybe almost 2 hours of me going through all these realms. But this is actually the last realm I have on this list. But yeah. Thanks for showing up, Jero. Really appreciate it. Thanks for leaving a comment too. Um, yeah. So this is the Zuma realm. Um, this is pretty much the last realm I have to show you guys. Ironically, it is also the only realm that starts with Z on the list. But eventually, I will probably make more realms that start with the letter Z. But I guess I could just race on this track to show you guys exactly what this realm looks like. But before we do that, I actually let me switch the car type because I don't want to drive a sports car. Wow, sports cars are actually the only option. I'm gonna go ahead and just do a supercar and sports. Okay, adder. We're gonna use the S80RR. It has awesome traction. So let's go ahead and check this out. I'm not gonna talk through this, so I'm gonna actually go ahead and mute my mic. But enjoyed this live stream. I just want to thank everybody that came and watched it. It is still going to be up on YouTube after, you know, this is ended and uploaded and everything, because it's got to go through a whole process. So, you know, if you guys want to, you know, share this live stream with your friends and anybody that loves Hot Wheels Acceleracers and Hot Wheels Road Race, you know, please share it with everybody to come check out this. If you guys want to race on these realms, you do need a PlayStation 4. Um, if you want to, of course, download these realms, all you need to do is check out my Rockstar Social Club profile on the Rockstar Social Club website. I will leave a my name down in the description of this video, or in the I'll pin a comment to this video that will have the link to my Rockstar Social Club account. But if you guys want to know the name to, you know, my account, it is Winter. I believe it's Winter Fox, like _4 or something like that, or Winter Fox, or Winter _Fox 4 or something like that. I gotta figure it out, but I will get a link most definitely. I've also left links on Peach's channel. If you guys go check out his Acceleracers videos, there's a couple links that I've left in there to the actual tracks that I have also made. But yeah, no, I will definitely do another live stream or another video where I will race on all of the Hot Wheels Acceleracers fan tracks that I have built. And these tracks are fictional. These aren't in the show at all. Except for the Water Realm. That one, of course, is my own, you know, style of track. But I just want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in another video. Please like and subscribe the video. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel if you want. I love, you know, getting support from you guys. It really helps me out. And you know, thank you so much for, you know, stopping by and stuff. And I'll see you guys later.